Hey folks, this is Katya, the vegan powerlifter, and today we're going to talk about escapism, clearly the title of this video. I find that way too many people are trying to escape from something when they fill out my coaching application and they're like, I just want to get to the best body I could ever have, or I just want to see the muscles under my fat layers, or I just want to see how strong I can get in an X, Y, and Z period of time. And while all of those goals might be fine, I start working with them and I kind of see that if there are any issues in their lives, a lot of the times they're perceived as like non-fixable. But instead of obsessing over, not having a good relationship with parents or with their own body, or not making enough money to make a down payment, or living in a shitty neighborhood that they can't move out of for whatever reason, they fill their lives with some other external goal to kind of put meaning in their lives and temporarily make themselves feel better. And I find this a very concerning trend. We today live in the time that inflation is wild, there is political instability, economic instability. I live in Russia. There is more unknown up in the air in terms of how things will go for my future, my parents' future, since they are retired and they can't move. So it brings a lot of worries and concern into people's lives. And the young people can't even afford to buy a home, even here. Not even to mention the US, where the cost of living has skyrocketed. It's tough to rent a place. It feels impossible for Gen Z to save up for a down payment. What used to be an American dream, where you work for a couple years and you have some social guarantees, and then you can buy your first starter home. That's not a possibility anymore. The food inflation is also wild in the US. If you're from another country, let me know how it feels to you, whether things that used to be possible for your parents now feel impossible to you and what those things are, because I'm very curious. There are still some social guarantees in Russia. There are very tiny pensions. There is free healthcare that is quite decent. There is public education that is mostly free still, even though the universities are starting to get more and more not free, or free for people who have fulfilled, whatever the requirements that the government wants. So people feel less in control of their lives. People feel less agency, and it kind of feels like, well, fuck it, we're gonna die anyway, so why don't I just enjoy this? Why don't I just pursue this temporary goal? Why don't I just focus on this rather than obsessing over the things that I cannot fix? I voted, I've stayed up for retirement, I've done X, Y, and Z. One of my American clients who is retired just shared that this is the worst time to get retired now under the current administration, because so many things that they have worked towards, her and her husband, now have been taken away. I'm talking about the medical system and Medicaid. So if it feels like, okay, there are things that we can't fix, even though we voted, we've saved up, we've done this, maybe I can pursue some instant gratification from buying a lottery ticket, picking up smoking again, or doing house renovation that's not super costly, like buying some new pillows, changing the house paint. A lot of the girls involve themselves into these 5-step, 12-step skin routines, makeup routines. Dudes that I know that are millennial-ish, a lot of whom have a feeling that they can't save up for a starter home, would buy a trash car and play mechanic with it. So I find this very concerning because it doesn't matter what hobby you pick. It doesn't really matter if it's useful or not. Hobbies can just be hobbies. Like you can just be knitting and there might be no purpose for your knitting. Like you might not want to knit yourself a sweater as an end goal. You might just be able to enjoy the process. But I do feel like going into anything out of the wrong reasons and kind of running away from something will bring negative results. I do feel like joining the gym out of feeling ashamed or feeling like there is no other escape in life and like that might as well be the one, might backlash. I don't think those people should hire a coach. I would love to have more clients, but I do feel like there is a time for folks to instead spend that money on a therapist and not a coach. Even though it might feel like a productive thing to do, to join the gym and to lose some body fat and to like compete in a powerlifting competition, see how strong you could possibly get. I think those goals need to be pursued out of a good mental space rather than I'm going to do it anyways no matter what, and then what, abandon going to the gym. Or like I've competed in bodybuilding competitions. What did I do after that? I hated my body even more. I've gained all the weight back and more. My body image went to complete shit from being kind of crappy. And until I worked it out with a therapist and started training, well, I switched into powerlifting from bodybuilding during the pandemic. So it was escapism. But there was no competition to strive to. There was no like hope out of this shutdown situation. So even though going to the gym was escapism, it was like the only thing I was looking forward during the day because I found a gym out of town that was open. I feel like because there was no like competition or kind of a finish line, maybe it was more of an actual self-care. There was therapeutic rather than escapism from reality. If that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. I've talked about that with my therapist, and that was probably like I didn't have one at the time. That was probably one of the kind of accidental, this has helped my mental state situations in life that also was kind of escapist in a way at the same time. And let me know if you've had situations like that. If something kind of fell upon you and you started doing it because that was just a dumb hobby and you wanted to do something else out of this boring job and then grew into something better. So I think those are like the exceptions that prove the rule. But most of the time, if we try to run away from something, it backlashes. And I feel like for Gen Z, a lot of those things are just kind of very unthoughtful, such as cooking a lot and like putting it out on social media, or like there was this TikTok dancing reel craze, or there's like a new trend. It used to be, once a year, once in half a year, every month. It feels like there's a new trend with a new thing that you can escape to and look forward to almost every week, almost every day. Like the folks on social media, whoever is influencing the popular culture, are repackaging something to then sell it and monetize off of it. And we can get distracted from our routine lives that we don't quite like to that, regardless whether it's learning how to do makeup or playing car mechanic or picking up vaping and making your own coils and like obsessing over that, or collectibles. Like it gives us a feeling of ownership of something when it just feels like nothing in the world can be under our agency anymore, like even our own lives, right? If we can't buy a house, if it feels like there's such instability, we don't know where to move and where to go, we might as well have agency over collecting all the collectibles in whatever that line of dolls or car toys or whatever, because like there is nothing else. Or wellness, I think, is a huge thing. And I don't say powerlifting or bodybuilding or any kind of sport. I mean like the wellness industry, the big wellness. I have a script for this video, and I think it needs way too many inserts for me to record this in the near future. But yeah, I think the big wellness is something that we need to worry about more than like the big pharma and people who are like, oh, well, the government is poisoning us. Oh, the vaccines. Oh, this, that. Like, the wellness industry is, I think, 4 or 5, a couple of times larger than the pharmaceutical industry. And the speed with which new trends arrive and are sold to masses before they are debunked is just absurd. And the amount of orthorexia that it has helped people develop, it's absurd. But we do feel more agency over our bodies when we can physically change it. So we resort to doing that because you can see the results in the mirror. You can see the results when you wear clothes. People compliment you. It's not just the instant gratification that you get from doing the thing, be it a workout or eating, sea moss and whatever this fancy new like green drink. It also appears that you're changing your life positively because other people notice, and you might get external validation for doing so. What's the solution to this, you might ask? I think the solution to escapism is, first, taking ownership in whatever you can take ownership in your own life, whatever the little that might be. First, therapy. If you can't afford a therapist, then talking to friends and trying to figure things out, relating to people with similar problems, finding those communities and chats on the internet, and finding people who have had similar issues. How did they resolve them? And then transforming whatever the activity that you might be mindlessly doing or even mindfully doing to draw instant gratification from it into an activity that can help your healthy and sustainable lifestyle goals. When people kind of do a thing to enjoy the process, it's fine. But when it doesn't line up with the other stuff that they're planning, I think it's not necessarily like a waste of time, but it could be more thought through, and it could bring a lot more use rather than detract from the other things you're doing, the main things you're doing, be it working or taking care of yourself and your family, saving up for retirement, saving up for a home, etc. Put meaning into your lifting routine. If you're going to the gym to escape reality, maybe think about how could it contribute to a healthy body and healthy aging. If you're losing weight because of all of the negative things that you've thought about your body and other people have told you and the social media has told you, maybe think about it as something productive that you're doing for yourself that could be a marathon and not a sprint, and you could reap more results if you thoughtfully do it and integrate it into your lifestyle, rather than like competing and then being like, oh, I'm done. I've tried it. I got a medal. Oh, maybe like I'll get a new medal. Volunteering, and if you're looking for a new hobby, that's a great thing to spend time on. Volunteering and finding community around the things that you're doing. So for example, again, if you're competing for yourself, nothing wrong with that. But if you find a powerlifting community that now becomes a part of your life, a supportive part of your life, they go to the gym with you at the same time, or they go to your competition, you go to their competition, you make new friends, help each other out. That's something that can be an extremely positive impact. And I've seen such third spaces as the gym become somebody's second family in years and years of being spent in that gym. It doesn't have to, but it can if you find the right group of people. And if you're open-minded enough to connect with them, to spend enough time with them. So I just think entertaining yourself with whatever goals or doing some things for the wrong reasons, those could be options. But if you can spend the same amount of time and dedication and effort on doing something with more meaning and with more of a positive approach and selfless approach, that will bring times and times better results rather than kind of doing something because. Let me know what you think in the comments. For some reason, I've been seeing a lot more like hopeless videos on the internet lately and reels, and I've been wondering why like I'm being recommended all of these like, oh, my new skincare routine, 12 steps, or my new this or that. Like, I'm not into skincare routines. I'm not into overdecking my house. I've moved way too much to collect stuff and to like get attached to physical possessions. Most of my life is online. Why is that a thing? And that's probably because the people like me on the internet get interested in kind of similar escapist behaviors. I just don't get it. I feel like I have too many problems to engage in escapism. Or maybe I'm not noticing something, in which case, let me know in the comments. If you follow me enough, maybe you're noticing something that I and my therapist need to talk about. Anyways, I think that's all I wanted to say today. And I hope you have a fabulous day, and hit a like and subscribe and share this video with somebody who started following a random escapist behavior and maybe can give it a little more thought to draw a little more impact from that. And if you haven't yet, you're welcome to go to theveganpowerlifter.com and get my vegan powerlifting starter guide, which has the most information that I've gathered throughout the years about getting started in powerlifting, on a vegan diet, recovering well, losing body fat, all of the good things. It's available on Amazon as well. And there's a bunch of free resources in the links in the description as well. I will see you in another video. Thank you for watching.